Welcome to episode 364, James Dyson, 10 Lessons. This is an outline of episode 364, lesson 1 to lesson 5. This is an outline of episode 364, lesson 6 to lesson 10. Lesson number 1, he's a designer before he became an inventor. Conventional wisdom says inventors come from science or engineering background.
30 years ago, you founded a company to make better vacuum cleaners. Dyson is now a global tech company that wants to rival Tesla or Apple even.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that. I started off doing classics and then went to design school and discovered design and then discovered engineering. So I come at engineering from a design point of view. So I'm interested in the whole product and what technology can do to a new product. So and the performance of a product. That's where I come from. So what I want to do is develop new technology and make great products that perform really well and are lovely to use.
Lesson number 2, a very difficult start. Now, how much hard work? 5 years and 5,127 prototypes. James Dyson divided the idea took 0.5%, the prototype took 3%, and the rest took 96.5%.
Difference between success and failure, do you think?
Oh yes, yes. It's all hard work.
Step, isn't it, from having a good idea and even building a prototype to actually getting it in to manufacture? I mean, how big is that step and what does it take?
Well, the idea is about 0.5%. Making a prototype is about 3%. And getting it into production is the rest of it.
Lesson number 3, a very difficult start. How much money? The patent costed $50,000 US. The production costed $800,000 US.
A vacuum cleaner, which I think we'll be able to see with a bit of luck quite shortly. And this is 3 times more effective than the conventional Hoover.
Yes.
Tell me about the problems you've had in actually getting this into production.
Well, the first problem was making it and developing it, and that took about 3 years of research and just simply working away and away and away, building model after model after model. And once I got the system to work, I then had patented it.
You say you didn't have the money, but what sort of money is involved in securing the patents, putting it into production?
The patents are a relatively cheap part. We spent about £30,000 up front on the patents. But to put it into production costs about $500,000.
Lesson number 4, no one in UK believed him. So he went exile to Japan to manufacture and sell his first invention. From the profit in Japan, he started his company in 1991. So that's after 13 years of struggling. Lesson number 5, what is innovation?
Innovation is bringing out a new product or service that drastically changes the way something's done and does it better. And it's really the performance of something, how something works, that is true innovation. If you can use less electricity, if you can change the way it's done, use less materials, do it quicker, faster, whatever it is, that's true innovation, a technical improvement.
Lesson number 6, big companies don't innovate.
As far as a company is concerned, it's terribly important they innovate. Now there's a global marketplace and anyone can make anything. There's enormous competition, which is good, but the people who are going to survive are not necessarily the people who can make the thing the cheapest, but the people who can make something that works the best. Well, the thing I noticed, because as an inventor I'd been round all the people actually are now my competitors to offer them my invention, and one by one they turned it down. And I suppose I should have been very depressed about this, but actually I got quite excited towards the end, because I realized that these big multinational companies weren't very interested in inventing something and improving things. They weren't really interested in innovation. Which I think is what happens to big companies, because drastic changes to their product is a big risk, involves a big risk. So they're very reluctant to do it, even if they were interested in technical innovation in the first place, which most of them aren't. So I slightly disagree. I think that small companies or people with startup businesses have a huge advantage. They're much more capable of being radical. And the public likes the small man, the man who takes on the big boys, the David and Goliath. They like someone who is fairly fearless in the way they innovate and change the products as we know them.
Lesson number 7, lean engineering.
The thing is, I employ young engineers. I always try and get graduates. And graduates are very idealistic, and they've been taught lean engineering at college, and I love lean engineering. So what we do is lean engineering. So our latest vacuum cleaners use far less plastic and are far lighter than the early ones, which doesn't make them any flimsier, because we do really, really extensive testing trying to break them. But it means they're lighter and use less energy to make them and less plastic. And of course, they're cheaper to make. So we can, because of that, we can put in more technology, which we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do.
Lesson number 8, hire new graduates with no experience.
So how do you continue that spirit of innovation, disruption?
Try to always employ graduates because they have no fear, they have no experience. I don't want experience. I want people who haven't done something before and want to find a new and better way of doing it, and who have no fear of failure. Because failure is so important. I mean, it's what you learn from it. If you always succeed and always give the right answer, you're learning nothing.
Right.
So I want people who feel as though they're pioneering and want to do something in a different and better way. And the funny thing is that these graduates, and when they become managers and they want to employ someone, they always say, I want someone with experience. And it's laziness. It's because they think that the person coming in won't need to be trained, won't need to be helped, which is, of course, quite the reverse, because you've got to knock their experience out in order to get them back to be thinking originally.
Lesson number 9, it takes 4 to 5 years to develop a revolutionary product. For example, Cyclone vacuum, also called bagless vacuum, took 5 years. The hairdryer took 4 years to develop.
Heat damage. He spent 4 years working with 103 engineers and tested 1,010 miles of hair to achieve this.
Lesson number 10, his biggest bet, the $2.7 billion Dyson Car in 2020.
Dyson is taking on the electric car. He announced plans to spend more than $2.7 billion to build a zero-emissions vehicle by 2020 and currently has a team of over 400 engineers working on a design that brings together what they've learned about airflow, motor, and battery power.
We're trying to do something different and better. We're off into the unknown.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.